And welcome to what is going to turn into Shadowrunning Group 2. A little over a month ago, I started up a crazy project wherein I wanted to grab a bunch of people off the internets at large, throw them into a Shadowrun group, and then in a month and a half, 2.5 months, um, leave them to their own devices with somebody stepping up to take that GM chair. My hope is that at the end we will have more people playing Shadowrun than there were before. It's a kind of a niche game, and it's kind of a buyer's market for GMs. I don't even know if that's the right term, but I'm sticking to it because I can pick and choose whoever I want to play in these games. And it's kind of intimidating being a crunchier system with a lot of setting and lore and that kind of stuff already established. And it doesn't play like other things. Shadowrunners at the standard are not your stalwart heroes of the land. You will save no princesses, you will defeat no dragons, you will not change the world. You will most likely die alone, unloved, in a gutter, and that's why we love it. So I've
Oh,
grabbed up six other folks here, and we're just going to talk a little bit about who they are, their exposure with Shadowrun, how haunted their houses may be, and just kind of get to know each other for a little bit. After that, we're going to break into what kind of game we want to play, and talk a little bit about setting and theme, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the quote unquote house rules slash restrictions that I like to go by, and then take a break, come back, discuss characters, some concepts, and see kind of where people want to play and who they want to play, more importantly, and talk more about the group in general and just kind of answer any questions we have. So, in semi standard fashion for me, whenever I want to do this kind of stuff, I start from left to right. So, Mr. Zeno, who are you?
Hi, my name is Liam, also known as Zeno, also known as Gunny, also known as many things. I've played a bit of Shadowrun before, um, about
Um,
maybe 8 hours or so. It's an interesting system, you know. Moral grey areas are fun to play as. Uh, I enjoy long walks on the beach.
I
Um,
mean, that's good. I'll
I,
keep
I,
that in mind if I ever try to seduce you.
I, uh, I don't know what else to say. I have an accent.
And it's wonderful. I love it. Um, you don't really need to say a whole lot. It just needs to be kind of like so we get to know you. How about this? What is your experience with tabletop RPGs in general?
About 8 hours of Shadowrun.
Wonderful.
I,
wow. Welcome.
I'm new. I'm very new.
It's all right. We'll be gentle.
I, okay.
So next up,
I believe that would be me, Kill. Uh, to contrast Xeno, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was 6, when my uncle brought it around the table. Before I ever got my hands on video games, before I even got my hands on Pokemon, to put it in perspective for everybody, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I absolutely love role playing. I love bringing characters to life. I love running around a fantasy universe. I like all of it. I've always tried to branch out beyond Dungeons and Dragons, but IRL is really painful for putting groups together, so I've had very, very poor chances. However, really happy to be here today playing Shadowrun. I'm super excited about the setting and about the system. I like what it does with the general role playing format. I like how it totally puts the story in the hands of the players as far as like planning and like how you want to accomplish things, right? I really like how it highlights that section, and I can't wait to plan heists and figure out innovative things to do on runs and how to accomplish things and have it all go wrong and just end up shooting each other over the pile of money. So I'm really excited to be playing in a cyberpunk setting as well. Blade Runner all the way. And yeah, that's me.
man, no pressure, right? Um, take everything you know about D&D and D and forget it. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
No, I know that one.
Good.
That's why I'm really excited. I'm so done with Dungeons and Dragons. As
Love
I
it.
said, since I was 6.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disclose my age, but let's just say it's over 2 decades.
All right. And then Jared?
Yeah, my name is Jared. Kind of like the guys before me, I don't really have any Shadowrun experience. I played like I've read through all the books for 5th edition. I actually own quite a few of them in hardback, and I own all of them in PDF. So it's something I've wanted to play for a long time. I'm also a longtime D&D and White Wolf player. I've been playing those games for 20 plus years, and I storyteller for White Wolf quite a bit, DM for D&D quite a bit, but never been able to get anyone interested in Shadowrun. So this is going to be my first foray into the 6th world. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. On a personal note, something you asked about, Rob, was my house is definitely haunted. The lady who owned the house before me died in my room, and every once in a while the lights flicker.
Ugh.
But we have an agreement that as long as she's quiet, I won't exercise her.
I was making a joke about somebody's creaky chair because I'm a pacer, but
Take her to the gym.
as you're actually a haunted house, that's all right.
Yeah,
Put that in my pocket for later. Don't worry about it.
no
So
problem.
we have our mage.
Maybe. If there's nothing else, we'll move on to Michael.
My name is Mike. No one calls me Michael except when I'm in trouble.
So, Michael,
Yes. I have quite a bit of 4th edition Shadowrun experience. I'm a Capricorn, and I've spent the last 20 minutes drawing a beautiful boat on the bottom of the map.
In true Capricorn fashion.
Yep. And
that is not
yeah.
bad for Roll20 art, I gotta say.
It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
sure. Kel?
All right. Yeah, I'm Kel. Shadowrun experience. I've played 2nd edition. I've played the electronic versions on the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, and even most recently the PC from Harbinger Games. They had re-sparked an interest in getting into Shadowrun. I've played role-playing games on and off since the early 80s. So I definitely enjoy being able to get in and submerge yourself into another reality of your own making, if you will. Looking forward to having a lot of fun with this.
And then finally, the one who's muted or not paying attention.
I'm still here. I thought you were going to say my name. All right.
No, I'm
Hey.
sorry. I was leading in.
Yeah, chat rat. All right, yeah. I don't even know how to. I played tabletops in general. I don't know for about since I was 18. So I guess that's 8 years more or less. I started with Pathfinder and just went all around these crazy systems. I played a few White Wolf. I got into Eclipse phase and stuck with it for a while, and then I'm just getting into Shadowrun. This is all new to me.
All right. I'm Bamce on a lot of social media and stuff. A couple of years ago when the Harebrained Schemes games came out, I picked up the first one, the Shadowrun Returns, on probably the winter sale, some sale, played it, and was like, I love moving people around little boxes. And the world was great. And at the time, I worked a job where I had about 3.5 hours or so every morning available to myself with no one to interact with. So I started downloading role-playing podcasts and that kind of stuff, and I got into the Shadowrun podcasts. And then I kind of stumbled my way into deeper and deeper the rabbit hole went. Since then, I've become too involved, some people might say. I check the Shadowrun Reddit on my phone nearly constantly. I was a founding member playing in the first pre-official Runner Hub 36-hour marathon game. I played in the very first one of those. I helped people build characters for that stuff. I have played a significant amount of Shadowrun over the past 2.5 years, but I am terrible with the lore because I cannot be asked to read that much of it. There's so many other crazy ideas going on in my head and all that kind of stuff that reading the intricacies of politics in the Sixth World is not something I'm interested in because I don't care about those stories necessarily. Recently, my job changed, so I went from being super active on the hub to not because my schedule was a bit different and not nearly as regimented. However, now that that has settled down, I was like, you know what? Let me expand on something I've done previously. On the Shadowrun subreddit, there was always a problem with GMs coming and asking for advice, and then you give some advice based upon your experiences, and then they have something else that contributes to that situation that they should have written in the first post that they didn't. So now there's like that conversation. I'm like, you know what? I know how I can fix this. So I started a small project that I called Games for GMs, where I would post up a game. I would grab 5 or 6 GMs from the Shadowrun subreddit, and we would play a game together. This way, we all knew every aspect of the run and how things played out, so that we could then discuss amongst ourselves how we could have done it differently, different aspects of things. Why did you do a thing this way? And then just kind of really break it down as a workshop. This shadow walking thing is basically the next step of that. I'm going to grab a bunch of people, we're going to play some games, and in time, I will move on and I will find someone else, and hopefully, God willing, or Ghost willing, I believe is the Sixth World equivalent, you guys will keep going without me. And
Spirit.
it'll be sad for me, but it'll also be that kind of bittersweet when your child goes off to college. Does anybody have any questions before I start breaking into some of the more stuff?
No.
No, I think you
Not
covered
a
it in your
one.
post.
Yeah, we
Excellent.
covered that in the posts and whatnot.
And we
Let's dive right in.
All right. So tonight, the first things we're going to tackle is settings and theme, because Shadowrun does a really good job of allowing you to play with a lot of different themes. You could be a street gang that is barely getting started and dealing with things like your rival gangs or organized crime or that kind of thing. You can be the professional criminals where you're knocking over banks and other stuff, or breaking in and stealing data and prototypes from places. You could be the guys that are, Johnny Law, coming to hunt down criminals and play like a real detective angle game. You could also be pirates in the Caribbean and do piratey things in a very crime-centric area. You could be the band that Shadowruns for street cred to sell their songs, and they use their various non-music talents to, say, hack into this small music production facility and swap your mixtape because it's Nova Hot, yo. All of these things are things you can easily do in Shadowrun, where things like D&D are much more black and white. You're either like the good guys or like the bad guys. And it's disappointing to me because you lose out on a lot of interesting storytelling possibilities with the moral gray that Shadowrun likes to portray. It is not a nice world. As I said in a little bit at the beginning, you will die most likely unloved, unwanted, in an alley. And that's just the thing at the end of the day.
Yay!
It is a dystopian world. On runs that I feel will probably be a little bit darker than others, I will make mention of that at the beginning and that kind of stuff. So as far as setting or theme, I guess since some of you guys are super new, I should explain a little bit more on theme. Your main differentials in Shadowrun is how far you land on what is typically the pink mohawk or black trenchcoat style, and wherein you want to fall. Obviously, everybody has ideas of where they want to fall, but then doesn't actually come out and play that way and that kind of stuff. Your black trenchcoat is your kind of leave no trace, super ghosty, everybody's in mirrored shades and black trench coats, where it's planned out to the minute detail, which gets really old really quickly. So a lot of those details can just get thrown away. Or the Pig Mohawk side is a lot more bang pow zap, but in a very controlled fashion, where instead of going in there and socially infiltrating the place and having nobody know anything has gone horribly wrong until like a week later when the guy comes to pick up his package and it's not there, and it's like, wait a minute, the Pig Mohawk guys are the ones going to be kicking in the door, not necessarily shooting the place up, but definitely like a lot of commotion and craziness, and then running away. And I talked a little bit about settings. So what are you guys feeling? Just throw it out there.
I want mirror shades.
Which is kind of in the middle.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'd like leaning towards a little bit of this, a little bit of that, mixing the black trench coat with the pink mohawk as the situation warrants, if you will.
Yeah, no, I like that too. It's like, sometimes you need a knife, sometimes you need a hammer.
Aye.
I'd like to work on my pink mohawk.
Oh, it's really easy. You just add explosions.
Yeah, just buy a bunch of grenades.
It's apparently, so it's like the Eclipse phase, it's going to kick in like, no, I need to be logical. We can't do that.
Don't worry, you have five other crazy idiots to
allow me to change my... You want a pink mohawk, I want a black trench coat. We'll alternate.
We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about like...
I'll be the worst stacker ever.
What about some kind of theme? Do you guys want to just be like a bog standard shadow running kind of game? Do you guys want to do something a little more exotic? Like, what is your...
I wouldn't mind something slightly more exotic.
Okay.
Did you have something in mind?
Start a whiz gang.
I have nothing in mind. I will say it now. I don't.
I was asking Liam.
No.
He says he wants something more exotic, but did he have anything in mind?
Not off the top of my head. I just know that I've listened to podcasts, and I'm just a little sick of 100%.
We could always go with Go Gangers out in the Barrens, or Go Gangers in general trying to start up. That's a classic.
A Go Gang, a whiz gang. Just throw us in the Barrens. Let's be poor.
I wasn't particularly interested in being poor, though. I wanted to run against Corpse personally.
Okay. I'm just throwing it out there. That always makes things a little more difficult and interesting.
I mean, we don't have to start immediately against them, I imagine, but starting at like down on the streets.
I'm down for that. Red Rock is always full of assholes that need a lesson taught to them.
So are you guys all feeling the kind of more go gangy kind of feeling?
Have no problem with that.
Yeah, no, that sounds fine to me.
We can mix in the occasional.
No, it's okay. The rest of the group wants a gang. Let's roll it.
Okay.
Well, because nothing says the gang won't run against the corporation. I mean, various people are going to be coming to the gang for this, that, and or the other.
Yeah, that's not really how I wanted to run it. But it's the games you guys want to play, then.
That was just a suggestion. I'm open for anything.
I honestly think that taking this in a kind of a traditional route, since a lot of us don't have that experience of a group of guys together as a shadow run, or a group of shadow runners that have actually worked together, a team, might prove more beneficial for learning, vice trying to do it run rampant as a ganger, personally. But I mean,
I mean, you're right.
Yeah, because like if we think about being a ganger, then we have to consider like all the skill restrictions that would fit into that, and like all of our backgrounds kind of have to sync up in a single location.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If we do the Shadowrunner team, which if we decide to actually know each other, You know, that's something that we can use towards everybody's going to have their own background. Everybody's going to have their own details. And when I have one thing in my background, Jared has another thing, and Zeno has a third thing, that gives the DM the chance, hey, I can expound on this. I can pull this thread. I can pull that thread.
Right. So if you guys want to be involved in a gang, like the four of you sounded like it was a cool thing, you guys can all have gang connections, and they could all pull us into runs for them because they have good contacts to have. They're really streetwise. They know stuff. So maybe that's how we can kind of balance it. If you guys want to have a lot of gang connections,
that
then
sounds good to me.
Then I could.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That allows us to like kind of do both.
So you guys are feeling more of a like, I'm not gonna say street level because street level's got some bad connotations for me associated with it, but something that is lower level but dealing with gangs attempting to maybe establish themselves, work up from the gangs to more of your mafia triads, Vori guys, and then step up a little bit higher than that.
I don't think I want to be explicitly. I mean, and this is just my opinion, so you can all share yours after. I don't want to be explicitly tied to gang level, but I would be totally cool with doing things hand in hand with the gangs.
There's a lot of them out there.
They're a fun part of Shadowrun.
So would it
too many?
Go ahead.
Like, for example, like, hey, this gang needs this shipment of drugs stolen from these people. We don't want them encroaching on our territory, and then that kind of thing.
Yeah, like gangs have infinite uses for a Shadowrun team, right?
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say then kind of a up and coming Shadowrun team? We got our feet wet. We're kind of experienced, but we're still learning it.
Yeah, I don't want to be as green as gangers, but like I think like that suits it perfectly.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. That fits it perfectly. Yeah.
The new kids on the block.
I am not dancing.
Funny story. I have a musical-oriented Shadowrun in mind that maybe we'll get to one day.
Is it Grease, where we save the town?
No, it's better than that. Don't worry.
Oh God.
And a couple of you guys mentioned some things like strings to pull on and that kind of thing. Liam, since you watched the first run of the other group, how many strings were there?
Plenty. Bloody plenty. Just at least
that contact list.
20, probably.
Part of the intention here is like as we get going, we'll figure out who's going to take over for me when I leave, and I will start to talk with that GM a little bit more about different things that they might want me to start seeding into the runs that I'm doing, so that they can pick up on them for their own plots and stuff. A lot of what I do is based around a singular idea. Like I'll have a crazy idea that pops into my head, and it's like, this could totally be a Shadowrun. I'll tell you guys more stories as we come into them, because there's a good chance I'm going to put you through at least one of those ones that spawned from one of those crazy ideas. I play to find out what happens. So I will give you guys a job, and I'll kind of have an idea on where it's going to end at. But everything else in there, the 7 of us sitting around this digital table, are going to find out together how we get from A to B. Because I'm not, like you mentioned in some of the other systems, they call them storytellers or game masters. That's not how I see myself. I see myself as perhaps maybe an author, and the rest of you are all also authors, creating your own bits of the story alongside everybody else, and we're all going to feed off of each other and kind of work that in together. As I say that, it sounds really hippy dippy, but
Kumbaya.
It'll make sense, I hope. So we have a little bit of an idea on our setting. Do you guys want to be in Seattle, or you guys want to go somewhere else? Because I don't really know too much myself about the lore, and I would say I would read about some places, but I'm not gonna, because I'm lazy.
Let's stay in Seattle.
I would love to be somewhere other than Seattle.
Other than Seattle. What about guys? Can we do Berlin?
What?
Can we? Because that's an actual setting.
That is also the setting
Yeah.
from
Shadowfall?
Dragonfall.
Yes,
Yes,
Dragonfall.
it is the setting from Dragonfall, but I really like the setting. It's also I played Deus Ex recently, so Prague, and I've personally been to Prague. So
Okay.
I don't know if you guys don't have anything in specific. I'd really like to do Berlin.
I do not mind Europe at all. Bigger fan of London personally, but I'm okay with Berlin.
I mean, they're really close. It's just the tunnel,
Fine
right?
with me.
I mean, I guess in Shadowrun it's still just the tunnel. Probably not.
Oh, maybe.
But I mean, like,
World kind of got. Ugh.
it's true. Oh, you're right. Like Ireland got all like jungly and crazy, but it's still not that far, right? Europe's a tiny place.
I believe Russia would like to have a word with you.
Okay, Russia's an entire continent to itself. It like apart from Russia.
No, as far as setting is concerned, man, I believe there's, like I said, I don't have any experience, man. So we can go wherever, we can play whatever. Like,
You're just happy to be here.
I'm just happy to be here, man. Like,
Excellent.
I'm of the same mind. I'm happy to be here. The setting is no concern to me.
Excellent. So yeah, we can totally go with Europe, with quotation marks around Germany to start. I'm gonna let you guys know that I am terrible with accents, and if I start one, it'll probably change like 3 times for the same NPC. Just
That
warning
just
you.
makes this better
It's
for
okay,
me.
man. We won't hold it against you.
That's good. I appreciate that because
By
I don't
no
know
means.
if my fragile ego could handle it. Okay. So let me think what else we're going to talk about here. I'll find something to read about Germany so I can at least get some of the air quotes gang names right, and like obviously Saderkrupp is going to be more influential than the other megacorps just because it's in Germany. So don't make any deals with dragons, guys. That's a terrible idea.
Hey, wait a minute. You said we didn't have to fight any dragons.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
There's a
be
saying
much
in
of a
Shadowrun:
fight.
never make a deal with one. You don't have to fight it, but don't ever make a deal with it.
It's not much of a fight because they will just smush you.
You're right, because we are crunchy and taste good with ketchup.
Yeah, that's my cat wants to play with this cord. Oh, but I got him now. He can't get away. I mean, I guess if there's nothing else you guys want to talk about as far as setting or any kind of lore questions or that kind of stuff, we could potentially move into talking about concepts and roles we want to play. I don't know if you guys have any other things along there. Somebody's having a little problems connecting.
Are they?
It looks like Chat Rat is...
Yep, chat rat dropped down a
No.
little bit.
No chat rat.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm good for talking about roles.
Sure.
I'll let someone go first this time.
Um,
Anybody else?
Chat Rat, you good?
Yeah, sorry, my headset just bugged
Nah.
out.
Just making sure you're cool. This is probably going to be the only night I ever call you guys by your air quote actual
Display
names. That's one of the many things I like to not do anymore is because I'm not talking to you most times. I'm talking to your characters.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So if you guys want, let me break down a couple of things. The first big rules that I have are no pixies and no AI. Pixies are just not mechanically balanced in any form or function. It's just how they were made. And AIs have far too many AI-specific rules for me to really give a damn. I can't... There are so many other complications within the Matrix that adding on their additional rules on top of that is just like, sorry, this is not worth the time or effort to me. Or it also doesn't influence the potential for the narrative as much. Like, you have no physical body, so there's no real threat to me shooting you in the face because I can't. Um, Outside of that, the only other major restriction I have is no to Matrix support because I've done it once and it tripled the time the Matrix took. So, like, you could be a Decker and another guy could be a Technomancer that's more into being like a Technomancer rigger. That's fine. I don't care. But being like two Deckers on the same team, I no, it's gonna slow everything down a whole bunch, and it's annoying. Um, I run a crazy rules light Shadowrun, as I have kind of spoken to you guys in different amounts about things like vision modifiers and range penalties and that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna hit you guys with because you guys will know your dice pools for the things that you use all the time. So stopping you like, oh, you can't shoot that guy, you're at more than 50 meters, it's dark out, it's raining, your shoes untied, and all of that stuff just slows down gameplay. Instead,
But I wear
will
slip-ons.
one of them is crooked or has a string loose.
It slipped off. Aha!
Rats.
So instead of applying dice pool penalties to you, I will give bonus dice to my NPCs because I'm sure some statistician will tell me that it is wrong, and I will tell them to shut up because nobody cares about less than like 5% of a chance of some kind of variable difference. I don't care. My world is also realistic. So when you're on your motorcycle driving through polite sections of town with an assault rifle on your back, yes, you may have a license attached to a fake SIN that says that you're allowed to have that. Yes, the cops are going to pull you over and check that fake SIN. And if everybody has ever seen that episode of The Simpsons with the softball, where they pull over the guy from New York and then they blame every potential crime on him from New York, well, some of that might happen. I will open roll all of my rolls in front of you unless somebody is doing something behind the scenes. I don't necessarily encourage PvP, but you are all professional criminals who may want to cover their own asses in certain aspects. Some of that kind of stuff might come up, but hopefully we can continue to be adults about it. There is, for the most part, the Runner Hub has a wiki with some house rules about character creation, and they have banned out some qualities. For the most part, I will be using those house rules and those banned quality lists. If you have any questions on there about why certain things were banned, I've probably been involved in that decision. I would be happy to explain it to you.
You want to link it?
Yeah, I'll grab a link for it as soon as I finish pacing around. It's fairly simple stuff, and like the one big one is no unaugmented attributes at 1. So if you have like a strength of 1, just grab like a muscle replacement or something in there. Don't be a complete cripple. The average human is like 3s across the board. So with a strength of 1, you are like 1/3 as strong as your average person. How are you getting yourself out of bed without medical assistance? Kind of makes it a little bit unbelievable as to how you succeed in going
Why are
through
you shadow running with such shitty strength?
More importantly than how are you shadow running, how much do your teammates trust your crippled butt to not fall over at a strong breeze and ruin the whole op?
It's a rigger in a wheelchair. He got it.
Yeah. There are a lot of potential for negative qualities that are seen as free karma. I enjoy taking people who have seafood allergies and throwing them in dumpsters in the back of sushi restaurants. So I will find ways for those qualities to come up if you don't make them interesting enough. Anybody have any questions on the air quotes, like the character generation rules that I'm talking about?
No. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Shit.
Gesundheit.
Try to get my mute mic on, but
That's fine. It'll take practice. we could talk about some of the crazier things like shifters and changelings and that kind of stuff, but um,
Are we doing that?
if it is a solid concept, an idea as to like um,
Does
makes for an
anyone want
interesting
it?
character.
Does anyone want to play a weird meta type right now?
I mean,
No.
MV4 Surge Cat Girl.
No, I'm probably gonna play a filthy human.
Yeah,
Excellent.
no, I'm not interested either. So I think we can skip the whole section.
Yeah, I'm
Excellent.
just looking into the basics.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
One day I will tell you about my suicidal cat girl that I played. It was great.
Oh no, you did it. You did it.
Did
No,
you have 9 lives?
No,
Just burning edge 9 times?
no. She was a unwilling and accidental surge through evil mad scientist experimentation, and she was shadow running to get enough money for corrective surgery to make herself look human again.
Wow.
Yeah, it got dark, didn't it?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe.
The darkness comes from the like, why
I'm
go
sure it was
on
darker than
until
that.
somebody explained the reasoning, but we'll not get into that.
Ah, I see.
All right, so that kind of takes that off the table. That's great, because some people like to get into some weird stuff and weird fetishes, and that's fine.
I mean, it's Shadowrun.
Yeah, those things totally exist, which is great, but at the same time. And then I guess the last thing is the Johnson knows the strengths and weaknesses in general of the team that he is hiring for a job. So if you guys for some reason do not have any astral support, I will not give you jobs that require you to deal with watcher spirits and normal spirits and tons of mages and all of that kind of stuff. So I guess with that out of the way, you guys are free to discuss what kind of concepts or whatever you have that you want to play. Feel free to use the unarted space on the table to write things down however you wish.
So who wants to be the street
Okay.
samurai? Because I'm kind of interested in doing it.
All right, we can never have enough samurai, so just do it.
Yeah, grab it.
Well,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, what type of street samurai are we going? Chrome or bio?
I was probably gonna go chrome, and I was probably gonna shoot people with lots of guns.
Oh, that's the way to go.
Just
Okay,
put
who's
your
gonna be
name
the
up
decker?
there.
Yeah, who wants to do Matrix?
Not me.
Wants to be the Matrix?
Nobody?
Wow, that
Well,
is deafening.
that's
I guess.
Deafening silent.
Yeah,
That's
I
deafening
can
silent.
pick it up.
I mean, it is the hardest.
I mean, if no one's interested,
hardest part of the game by far.
I
I
mean,
would
like,
say,
I thought
either
I thought
way,
everyone was gonna jump on it. Like,
I thought Decker would be the hardest one, and I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to touch that for my first go.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay.
one of the
It's not
problems I
really
would be running
My
through
first
as well.
go.
you know what? I'll do it. I'm stepping
I
up. I got it, guys.
watched
I'll
Matrix
do the
and I-
Matrix.
Oh, you doing it? All right.
Yeah, I'll make a decker.
Okay, you'll be the decker. Okay.
right. You guys want to start writing
those
some of that
things
stuff?
Wait, no. We just need.
If you guys could write some
Yeah.
of that stuff on the table so we have because we've only talked to each other for about an hour and we don't really know each other's
Names
voices.
and voices.
Okay.
It'll get
Kill.
there after.
I already got kill as Decker.
But yeah. Does someone want to be? Oh, okay. There you go. Okay.
Oh, somebody actually write it down.
Aye.
Who wants to be our scribe?
Or what?
Somebody that's
Person-
notes.
the person
Right,
writing.
somebody that writes everything down.
I'm doing it, so
Say your
I'll
name.
do it
Oh.
more.
So that everyone can know
Oh,
who you.
Zeno.
That's the funny accent, man.
Oh yeah, Zeno. Okay.
It's the
All right.
scoop. All right. Let's see. Magic.
I thought I might take a stab as either a shaman or a mage.
Okay, you're gonna be a real mage.
That was
Jared.
Okay. real mage. Anybody want to play an adept? So we could have two people. Actually, adepts do whatever the hell they want to do because adepts.
I would love to play the adept.
All right, we got an
Mike?
adept. And
Do you know what you want to do with the adept? Because adepts can really do whatever they want.
yeah,
Do you like want to fight? Do you want to like sneak? Do you want to like cast
Talk
spells
to
as a
people?
mist ad?
I was gonna go with the gunslinger adept to be
Cool.
more specific for Shadowrun terms.
Cool. I don't think we really have terms. It's just like
It's general ideas, because I could definitely show you some character builds that I've done, including the shit. Forgot it. Oh, the Troll Decker Adept.
the troll decker adept.
oh,
He's great.
That's even more rare than the troll face.
well,
I have
No,
some
it's
very
really
strong
rare.
feelings about faces.
so no faces allowed.
No,
No
you are
face?
more than welcome to,
Everybody's
but
face?
I have a. They're among my favorite things to play. So, we can talk about them later, because that's not important. But you guys are able to do whatever you want. I'm not stopping you.
Let's see, we got Decker, Magic Mage, Gunslinger Adept. What other archetypes are there normally? Rigger. Who wants to be the rigger?
You guys can also just have interesting concepts. Like,
Yeah, we don't necessarily need a
This is true.
rigger.
one of my other
What do
favorite.
you mean you don't need a rigger?
But yeah, like,
It's
I mean,
the
like-
coolest one.
how about we just go around and like say what we want to play, right? And then we can sort out
There
any.
we go.
We don't have to we can. What do you want to play with, right? I could play with the Matrix. All right, Jared wants to play with magic. Mike wants to shoot guns. Right? We can
I don't
choose
want to shoot guns.
but you're the gunslinger
are you a
adept.
pacifist?
You're the gunslinger adept.
I
You
went
want
with
to shoot
gunslinger
guns.
adept. No, that's
Yeah.
Mike.
That's Mike. I put it on the roll 20 under my name.
He
So
said
not-
Mike.
Hey, here's the runner.
Not Mike. Not Mike Smith. Yeah, I said Mike.
Yeah.
You want to shoot guns. And you said he doesn't want to shoot guns.
No, funny
Well,
accent
Liam.
man doesn't want to shoot guns. That's me. Liam.
That's Zeno, yeah.
Yeah, but I was talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I heard you say Mike. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Miscommunication happened somewhere.
Half the group just went crazy. We can roll with
I'm getting paranoid already.
it.
They kind of make sense from what we're talking about here.
Okay, Rat, what do you want to
To
do?
the J yet? Oh, I didn't think.
That's fine.
Let's take.
Wait, who was the street samurai?
I mean, I was until everyone
Oh.
said they didn't want to do the Decker.
Gotcha.
Wait, do you want to be the samurai?
No, I'm going to be the Decker.
Oh, damn all right. And we could only have one Decker. So I'm like,
I mean, if
don't
you
want
want,
to be a
no,
literal terrorist.
I mean,
That is now the question. I wanna be a
I'm willing
literal
to give it
terrorist.
up. I'm only doing it because everyone else like dead silenced. Do you want it?
Yeah, that or technomancer. I mean, terrorist.
Here you go.
Word
Here you go. You are officially the Decker. I'm the rigger.
You're officially the Matrix support. Congratulations. So I'm gonna break
Oh
in here a
God,
little bit
Technomancer.
since
You and me are going to be good friends because I want to do a lot of robots.
since we're talking about what basically sounds like classes. And one of the great things about Shadowrun is it doesn't have classes. It has more archetypes or themes. One of my personal favorites that comes across every once in a while is the fish out of water, where Shadowrunners were people before they were runners. Like, everybody had something that pushed them into the shadows. It could be something as simple as you were like the knight-errant detective that was undercover, Matrix crash happened, lost your sin in paperwork, you're now stuck in the shadows. You could be the college kid who gets an offer for some easy money from a shady dude, and being the naive college kid is like, I could really use some extra cash. Sure, I'll help, because you have, say, some magical talent or some kind of Decker prodigy kind of talent. Suddenly, you find out, oh shit, I actually have done something horribly illegal, and now this guy has pressure on me to keep doing it. But man, that money. there's any number of like these little concepts and things that could play into these archetypes, which can go a lot of different ways towards bringing the person on the character sheet through. It's one of the things I do on my YouTube channel, which I should really get back to doing. But one of the things I try to kind of preach is to tell me who your character is with the character sheet itself. I don't want to read paragraphs of backstory. I want to look, and I want to see some of your history there on it. Shadowrun is great for this because of the way knowledge skills work out and because of the way contacts work out. They tell you who your character knows, and what kind of things they know. If I were to show you a sheet that had, say, a troll, chromes to the gills, street samurai who had a dependent that was his daughter, it's like, okay, that sounds fairly normal. Now, if I were to take 2 of those knowledge skill points that he has from something like small unit tactics or guns and ammo, or really any kind of those murder-related street samurai knowledge skills that they usually take, and I use one of those points to buy a single rank in like a Tridio knowledge skill, just for, TV shows, that kind of thing, and I use that second point to buy a specialization in children's shows. How much more does that tell you about who that character is? You can take two points of his active skills from, say, sneaking, because the difference between 10 and 11 in that pool is not a huge amount. And you give him the artisan skill with a specialization in cooking. How much more do you suddenly identify with who that guy is?
A lot.
And that's
artisan's cooking. Oh, that's so smart.
I will tell you stories about how artisan cooking has won runs another time. Maybe we'll have
pretty good.
Maybe because I don't have to work tomorrow, I can tell you some of these stories later tonight.
Sounds lovely.
So it's something to think about. Less I want to murder somebody, but if you have a concept, start describing who that concept of who that person is, and we can help fit them into a role, because we're doing this together. This is why I didn't want you guys to like build this stuff on your own.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Fine, then let's
You guys can still do. I'm just trying to offer enlightenment.
Okay, then let's approach it from the way you just described it. That's probably going to get everyone a happier and more organic character than picking classes.
Yeah, it's like getting a concept of what you want to do, what your character should be.
Okay.
All right.
So, who has an idea for a concept of who they want to play? Or would you guys rather take 5 right now, and we'll come back and we'll do this? Give you guys some time to think.
I think that's a good idea. Let's take 5.
Let's take that.
We will take 5. I will stop the recording now, and we will see you guys on YouTube probably immediately.